Hi, this is Jen Schaefer. Thank you for joining me as I continue on with my planner series. This is the last week in April, and my goal for this month is to try to get the most out of the stickers that come in my Erin Condren Planner. As you may have noticed, there aren't going to be enough of the rounded rectangle stickers for all 3 sections this week. I could have done all the headers and banner stickers, but I wasn't really liking that idea, so I decided I should get as many as I could with the rounded rectangles, which would be 2 sections, then just use banner rectangles for the 3rd section. Because my remaining 2 colors are orange and yellow, I thought pink as my 3rd color would make a lot of sense. So I used the orange rounded rectangles for today, the yellow rounded rectangles for little things, and the pink banners for to-do. With all of my banners created, I started to put them in my planner as I have every week this month. I like how well they fill the space, as well as how they are easy to peel up if I make a mistake in placing them. I don't normally go for this color combination, but I think I really like how they look together, and I think they will go really well with the stamp set I've picked out for this week. I'm going to be using the Chubby Chums stamp set from Paper Smooches this week. It has an adorable set of critters that I think will fit the planner boxes perfectly, and all work well with a pretty natural yellow, brown, and orange color scheme that will complement this week's banner colors. In addition, there is a footprint in this set that will work perfectly with my step tracker, which is a nice bonus. Because I include my step tracker in the same place every week, I'm starting by stamping the place for those. Then I'm going to take the XO stamp to leave a place to mark to-dos and today items. It's probably not the ideal stamp for this purpose, but it matches the stamp set and has a spot for me to mark to-do items as complete, so it works for me. It's at this point I realize my office is a little dark, so I turned on the lamp to brighten things up a bit. Next, I'm looking at a piece of paper I have off to the side where I wrote down everything I have going on this week. I added 3 items to my to-do list before realizing this section was not my to-do section, this is my today section. Luckily, these labels peel up fairly easily, so I was able to switch the headers for these 2 rows without too much trouble. I'll definitely try to pay closer attention next time. With the issue fixed, I can move on to adding the rest of my to-do and today items, paying close attention to where they go. I actually end up not minding that I had to switch the order because the headers end up in rainbow order, which I think looks pretty nice. This week is actually a light week, so I have a lot of empty boxes. Once the week is done, I plan on filling in some empty space, but I'll leave it for now. I like to leave a lot of white space in my planners anyways. I think it draws your eyes to the part of the planner I want to focus on, usually the stamping. After filling in my events and tasks for the week, it's time to start deciding where the animals will go. I know I want to focus on filling in some of the empty space in the little things section, so that's where I place the majority of my stamps, going with every other box to spread them out evenly. This uses 4 of the 5 creatures, which would be fine, but I want the cute little cow in there too. So I look for a few spots, then decide Thinkful Thoughts section that I normally leave blank would be the perfect home for him. With the locations decided, I move on to stamping my creatures. I love the look of them peeking out from the box, so I use post-it notes to mask the sides of the box off. This will keep my stamp lines just where I want them. I end up deciding that the chicken would work well in this space, as opposed to my original idea of the cat, because his eyes are looking off to the side, and I thought it'd be weird if there was nothing in this direction. I follow the same basic steps when stamping the other animals, including the cow in the upper left-hand corner. I use the dotted lines as my guideline, then stamp it in place. You may notice that I never mask the top line. This is because I know that I do not want to stamp above this line, so there's no point in wasting the post-it. This fills the box really well, but the stamp set comes with some adorable phrases that go with the creatures, and I wanted to fit one in. It happens that Smooches, the phrase that matches the cow, fits in this little space below him perfectly, so I stamp him in the space as well. Before I start on coloring, I decided to fill in my next week section. I'm excited because next week starts May, which is going to be a really exciting month for us. For me personally, May includes Mother's Day and my birthday. For my family, it also includes a nice vacation to Florida, which will probably be our last real vacation aside from visiting family until after my 2nd son is born. While I have the pen out, I decided to use it to fill in some of the spaces that didn't stamp perfectly on my creatures, such as lines right next to the post-it and solid places like the cow's nose. I also used it to add an exclamation mark to my sentiment. Now I can move on to coloring. Unfortunately, my camera missed the first layer of sienna brown that I put down on the owl. For creatures like this, I tend to start with a base layer of color. Then I can slowly build it up with additional layers of the same color, or layers of new colors if I want to change the look I'm getting. My next layer in this case is for shading. I want to add more layers of brown towards the edge to give the owl a rounded look, as well as some brown under the areas like the eyes, beak, and feathers, where I want to make the areas look layered over each other like they're casting a shadow. Next, I want to intensify the shadows, so I go in with dark brown in the areas where I had previously put down shadows. This is a darker color and gives the whole image more depth. Next, I go over everything with sienna brown again. This intensifies the color as well as helps blend the two browns together, because I'm going over the shadows with this color as well. Next, I move on to the feet. I would like them to match the beak I had colored earlier, so I start with orange for base color, then add in some crimson red for shading. I really like this color, and the owl was looking a bit plain, so I went in with red and covered over some of the brown in several places. Because I used light layers and had already done some shading, the additional layer will not need any additional shadows. I plan on coloring the remaining animals off camera, but there was one more glaring blank space on the bottom of the planner. I didn't want to use footprints walking again, so I decided to add some washi tape I recently purchased from Recollections. This floral pattern is beautiful and the orange matches my color scheme well. So I start by laying down a row of tape down the middle. To cut off the ends, I try using an acrylic block to tear it, but that doesn't give me a very smooth look that I'm going for, so I'll go back later and clean that up. Next, I'm using this thin pink washi tape I also got from another Recollections collection to draw a line on either side of the pattern washi. This also goes with my color scheme and helps fill in the space nicely. With all the washi in place, I can go in with a ruler and a sharp knife to cut thin slices into the washi, until I'm able to remove the torn edges and get clean ones instead. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with my first experience with washi in a planner. As you can see, I later went in and colored my remaining creatures. I also decided to fill in some of the empty spaces with washi. I'm not sure I liked how the washi layered over itself, but I like the matching color and visual impact. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed my second planner episode. Be sure to check the description for further details, and I hope to see you again next time.